Welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 13, Week 2, Lone Sniper Theory, Wheel Snipe
Shockwave's
Celly,
back.
Shockwave's back, Magician is gone, Randy's still here, Ocelot's still not because it's like 6 a.m.
7:29 a.m.
And Ocelot doesn't have Freak of Nature sleep schedule.
What a loser.
You know, I feel like
Sleeping normal times.
I know it's a hindsight thing, but definitely I feel like they let the PL through last game and Chris actually picked the PL.
I don't think he would have picked it.
Would have been a really bad PL game. I think it would have actually been in their interest to let it through there. Like, I think what happens in that game is that Tiny just kills all the PL illusions in 2 hits and then kills the real PL in the 3rd.
Even we know what that usually means.
Yep. Could be a Huskar on the horizon.
Yep.
No Disruptor ban.
We have seen it. I believe we've seen it anyway.
The lack of Disruptor ban is honestly a little surprising to me. Uh-oh, that's not a good sign.
Oh, okay.
If I'm Wheel Snipe,
yeah,
if I'm Wheel Snipe Celly, I'm looking at that. I'm thinking of picking Huskar like this pick phase, honestly.
10 seconds.
Yeah. They have another ban phase, but I'm definitely interested to see what they do if they let it through.
I'm thinking, honestly, if I'm Lone Sniper Theory here and I banned AA and I got Omni-Knight, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick Huskar 4th overall pick. I'm going to pick him right before the next ban phase. I'm just going to ban out a lot of Huskar counters in the next lineup. I don't know what you do about that right now.
Let's see what
at an LD2L level.
See what Jackie does about it. Perhaps discussing what he's gonna do about it right now.
Got a lich coming out first.
Lich.
Generally good support. I feel like lich is actually kind of I don't know. Is lich underrated right now? You think?
I'm guessing lich Grim because it's the only reason anyone ever picks lich in competitive Dota.
10 seconds remaining.
But he isn't picked on his own. Typically.
5 seconds remaining.
I gotta question why a little bit. I mean, I feel like Lich is just a better hero than a lot of people give him credit for right now. Just says a lot of things you really want to get.
I think it's not that Lich is bad alone, it's just that he is so much better with a Grim that it's kind of pointless not to pick it with him.
Right.
It's like Void Invoker. Oh, those heroes aren't pointless on their own, so.
We did not see last round as Invoker got banned.
True.
If I'm Ice Man, if I'm thinking about a Huskar pick, if I'm even vaguely considering a Huskar pick, it's coming out right now. Right now, ban it. Ban next. I've talked before about this. I've talked with my co-op circles a lot about this. There is a lot of power. It's like probably the best thing about first pick is this pick right here. You can do a lot with it. Just being able to pick up a hero and then ban 3 guys immediately following, that's pretty big.
Yep.
I feel like everywhere else you kind of lose, but you know. Well, you don't get last overall pick, that's obviously a loss, unless you're very pigeonholed. We got Chaos Knight instead.
Alright, what they're gonna do is pick the offlane CK, everyone's favorite.
Oh no, baby! Oh!
Well, if it's Chris Huskar, then it's offlane CK, right?
Oh no, Jackie was talking about it too. I thought it was his team that was going to be doing this. Oh.
5 seconds remaining.
Assuming it is Chris Huskar, it doesn't get banned out.
Right. I mean, this is like a no-brainer ban right now, right? I mean, Huskar is easily like top 5 most powerful heroes in the game, certainly. No anti-mage, by the way. Do not want him here. I cannot imagine what exactly they're banning him for. Guess Omni Knight doesn't like him, but it's kind of small potatoes, don't you
10
think?
seconds.
Best Omni Knight's going to be in this
Iceman
game is 3.
doesn't like
Maybe, yeah.
anti-mage,
5 seconds
like
remaining.
Most likely.
Quapper Invoker,
Radiant
Storm
team
Spirit.
ban.
Yep, immediately banning out the Invoker. Not a bad assumption if the Iceman lineup is banning anti-mage, frankly. I mean, we know what happens when you have the anti-mage versus Invoker matchup
Yeah,
at mid.
it's fairly miserable, yeah.
Is that anti-mage buys Dagon
10
first.
seconds remaining.
Oh, yeah.
Dire team ban.
No Medusa. So I feel like it's always a smart play. There's a lot of times when you can accidentally ban out a lot of Medusa counters. I
This is
feel
for
like
Huskar, right?
yeah. I feel like if you are in a situation where you're banning out Medusa counters, it's never a bad idea to ban out Medusa herself. Just not somebody you want to deal with
5 seconds
in that sort of
remaining.
world.
I think Huskar doesn't want to deal with it, and that's why they banned
Yeah.
it.
Also that, yeah. There is nothing quite as sad as the late game,
This time is definitely Jackie considering whether or not to let it through.
yeah. No Void Spirit, by the way. Void Spirit will not be allowed on the premises. Jackie does get the first pick in the next round as well. So there's definitely, I think it's definitely some value to mull over whether to pick it himself.
5 seconds
I don't know if it's
remaining.
great. We've seen CK do some good things against Huskar in a worse scenario than this.
Yep.
What if it's 3 CK rather than 1? I don't know if it's that scary. But then if you pick the Huskar here, then they can easily just slot the CK into 1 and make it
Yeah,
scary.
sure.
Team ban.
No Drow. Drow Ranger is going to be a stranger to us. That is such a Huskar ban. Like, that
Ooh.
is like one of the most flagrant Huskar bans out there. Like,
I'm
do,
trying
better
to
do
think
something,
right
guys.
now, like,
10 seconds
on the wheel
remaining.
Snipe Celly lineup, they pick, like, Grim, because that's
5
kind of what this is pointing to, and then, like, steal their Necro. That could be
Could.
super disgusting looking with this lineup so far. Like, Lich, Grim, and Necro, how do you win against that? I don't know. BKB, that's it.
BKB, Hurley Pipe.
And, like, if they wait out your BKB, you just die.
Definitely Lotus and Lincoln's is also very big there. I tell you what's one thing that you never want to have happen to you. Actually, I tell you 2 things. One is the Reaper's Scythe dropping on Necro's head. Another is the Lich ult coming back at Lich.
Yeah, that's true. But just don't cast on those targets then.
Right.
Easy.
Yeah, you just, you know, gives you 2 guys that you can't cast on. Potentially, and yes,
Necrosander has been practicing the Necro.
you did just hear that right. Yes, I am advising that if you let that lineup happen, that you buy 2 Lotus Orbs minimum. You gotta communicate, obviously. Both those Lotus Orbs
don't stack
carriers
Lotuses.
have
10
got to be
seconds
talking.
remaining.
But if you get a Lotus Orb on your 3 and your 4, I think that's very
5
possible.
seconds
Or
remaining.
3 and your 2 if you're really down. You need to buy that time to stay on the map. It can be very... You can just make every fight so tricky to
Yeah.
live in. Especially if you get some Lincoln's Gut. Damn, we're running out of reserve time here.
Jackie is mulling over,
Radiant team pick.
do we let the Huskar through? The ultimate answer is yes.
At the very least, we're going to hope they don't pick it here, which... I mean, come on, how could they not pick it here? They've banned around it very, very well.
They'll pick it 17th probably.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Picks plus bands, that's 4th pick on Radiant. They'll pick it, I'm guessing. Because they can't get it banned out unless, like, Rada team wants to pick it for whatever reason. It's not that good on them, so I doubt it.
You know, call me a Dota boomer. I didn't like the name Triangle either. I always preferred the name Offlane Jungle, right? I never liked how the nomenclature is for picks. I feel like it's just a lot easier, especially as for like the viewer to just say, you know,
Oh, I just say it like that because it's. I just say it like that because that's how it's labeled on Dota buff.
Yeah, yeah, it's how it's labeled on Dota buff. This is how, you know, casters call it.
Dire
I don't
team
like it.
pick.
We're gonna be trailblazers here. We're gonna be,
Yep.
you know,
Nick
not
Susker.
randomly throwing them together. And yeah, Nick Suskar.
So this is a necro, right? Like you can't let that get banned.
Yeah, you can't not pick
10
Necro.
seconds remaining.
And he's been practicing it, and it works so well with this lineup. I'd
5
be shocked if it
seconds
wasn't
remaining.
this pick.
Radiant team banned.
Ding.
Yeah. Of course.
Tell you what else you could do actually. You could get Omni Knight to buy a Pipe of Insight and still buy the Eternal Shroud on Huskar. Because that fully stacks, and it's a lot of stuff to put into Magic Immunity, but man, look at that lineup. Tell me that's not worth the
10
money.
seconds
We need a
remaining.
mid and a 1.
Yep.
Dire team banned.
Unless it's like Huskar mid, which kind of doubtful. I'm sure it's a Chris pick.
It should come as no surprise that once again, Pipe of Insight on Lone Sniper Theory, just like on Wheel Snipe Celly last game, pretty much a victory condition. I do not think there's even vaguely a hope for their team if they do not get one at least.
5 seconds
Are you looking forward to
remaining.
them not buying one?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about that in the post game too.
Radiant
It's gonna be a
team
very
banned.
interesting post game. It will be weird because this is what happened to Iceman last week. It's like last week, you know, he and Princess's team, they just traded games where they both had the opposite problem. And if they do the same thing this week, then what's going on in Iceman world? I don't think it's like
Golden Skylands world.
I don't think it's quite as, especially given what we have for our 5th pick here. I don't think it's going to be quite as like world changing as banning out the Pangolier. That's a little weird. I don't think it's going to be quite as world changing as the Pipe would have been in the game prior. It's going to be just because with the addition of the Grimstroke in particular, it's going to be a lot of magic damage come down to every single one of these fights, plus a Necro, plus a Sand King. I mean, you're going to be shaving off 10% of that damage, but it's hard to argue when it's like 5 digits of damage on individual targets per fight kind of damage, right?
I like the
10%
TB and
damage.
Razor Band. Actually, I like both of those because
10 seconds remaining.
Razor super good with Grimstroke, and terribly, you know, all illusion heroes are also super good with him.
Right. And what's worse than one Huskar beating the crap out of himself? How about 2?
Yeah, there you go.
I feel like honestly, if I'm here, if I'm doing this right now, Lifestealer. Period.
Dire team pick.
Lifestealer on Wheel Snipe Celly?
Of
Yeah, no, Lifestealer on Lone Sniper. Move Huskar 2 and get
Uh.
Lifestealer 1.
Well, it's not happening, it
It's
seems.
not happening,
We'll have a Queen of Pain mid.
but it just hit me more and more. Chug could also work for fairly similar reasons. In fact, Chug might be just a touch
10
better, but
seconds remaining.
it hit me only last second looking at that. Hey, both of the magic immunity cores are still in the pool, and man,
Yeah.
that would change a lot. Actually, definitely would prefer the Jug there on LST over the Lifestealer. Thinking more about it, at least so far. Let's see what that one is. Okay, yeah, it's definitely
Naga
Jug,
Stern.
Jug rather than Lifestealer type game.
This looks like an easy game for Naga, I think. I don't think she cares that much about Huskar. Like, the only
Yeah.
person that I would care about as a Naga player on that team is Quap, and like after 30 minutes, Quap is not part of the game anymore.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much. They got so much point guard against the Quap as well.
I
She has to
really
jump
like
through a
Naga.
lot of hoops. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like this works a lot better as a team concept when Huskar isn't like your entire card here. This is definitely. I feel like we've talked about this. Like we've talked about this at least once per Huskar pick so far. I feel like where you lane Huskar is really just a determination, like the determining factor of success on your lineup.
Yep.
I feel like moving Huskar to to the mid here and having something that could go a little later than him probably would have done them a lot of good. Only one downside of that. CK would have been completely annihilated. Like,
Yeah,
he's
that's true.
still not going to have much to do this game, I don't think. Team's not great to have him there. He's pretty much his job in this game is going to be using his W on people to pull them into weird positions and fights, and that's going to be his contribution, I think.
Yep.
If you had a 1 and moved Huskar to 2, which I don't know if Iceman would even let himself live with.
Prepare for
Kind of prides himself on not picking mids like that. But
Yeah.
if you had Huskar 2 and switch somebody, like, picked up a different 1, then CK would have just completely fell off. Like, he just would get nothing done this game. So there is that. I still feel like your chance to win goes up considerably because even as it stands, what the hell is CK going to do in this game? Tell you what a really bad matchup is, CK against Naga Siren.
Yeah. Naga's good against 4 of them and okay against the other, so.
Right. CK is not great against the Naga, is not good against the Necro, and that's definitely a pick they should have seen coming. He saw that coming like
30
second pick, and I don't
seconds
know
to
if it's like,
Yeah, I mean,
you know, I don't want to poop in your toothpaste and make you sound like a no
Lich
brainer.
Necro.
but,
It's pretty
yeah.
standard stuff.
It's definitely, I think, a pick they should have saw coming. Don't like him against Sand King. I mean, there's like a very specific scenario where he's okay against Sand King, but like the problem is, and they picked him after the Sand King too, mind you. Problem is, like, what does CK do when Sand King just bro strikes under all the CK illusions and the real CK? What does he do?
Not much, yeah.
Yeah. So he has like 6 things to BKB for, and it's a BKB he's going to need to basically be born with. He doesn't do any damage to Necro, he doesn't kill the Naga Siren, who can dodge some of his crap. And confuse him too, I mean, one of the hardest things to do as CK is to actually figure out in a mess of a fight what the hell you're hitting, and Naga doesn't necessarily have that problem because he just explodes every couple of shots. CK can get rid of that problem too if he has like a Maelstrom or something, but A, that's a weird item to get on him, and B, it's just more money he's not going to have.
Sports
This
are
is
just poking each other.
Yeah, this is a funny little support trade here.
Shockwave's fine. He's got his buddy to back him up.
Yep. At the very least, if nothing else, Huskar, I don't know if he really is going to have any trouble against this lane, at the very least. Like, Huskar against these two in a vacuum isn't too bad, but Huskar against these two with Omni Knight on his side is definitely going to be good.
Yep.
He's certainly going to have his work cut out for him this game. I feel like, oh,
Okay.
that looked like...
Fine.
That
Yeah.
looked like it would be scary. Your Dota instincts are telling you that was scary, but I don't know how much danger Chris was actually in at that moment, even if he doesn't need the Fairy Fire.
Yeah, because boss is level 1.
Yep.
Level 2, that's probably a kill on Chris right here, but kind of the unfortunate way the equilibrium goes sometimes.
Right.
We'll be level 2 after this couple creeps.
Molsky is going to get hammered up here.
Yeah, for sure.
Problem is, he can just put that ice on Naga, and then suddenly there is not even sort of like an opportunity for a kill here anymore. So another thing CK is bad at dealing with is Frost Armor.
Yeah.
Shanking very low there.
He'll sell himself up.
One more level on Chris, that was probably First Blood, so you know, it comes and it goes, I guess. The turns did indeed table there. Pulling creeps.
Bring the screws to butt rug here. It's a super aggressively played lane so far.
Right.
Send him all the way back to base.
taking the walk of shame. There is one lane where I do think, you know, sometimes you can take the walk of shame and be okay with it. It is an off lane. Only thing is, it has to be an off lane where the level doesn't matter quite so much, where you have like a spike at 3 or something, you can just come back from it. Oh, Molsky! Going down! Hit by CKQ.
There you go.
Well,
They finally get the kill they've kind of been needling for this entire lane so far.
right. So far it's going fairly well. But I feel like this is definitely one of those lanes that degrades with time. Like, I don't know if like at level 6 this lane means anything to Naga and lich,
Yeah,
to
she
be
can
frank.
just leave. Yeah, like, even if the lane goes badly for her, she can leave and get an equivalent amount of farm in the jungle.
And there's something
Not more,
really
really.
bad that happens at 6 as well, right? Once everybody is 6. So, imagine this scenario, right? Naga Siren is like here, let's say, somewhere that's decently, or here is something. Or Lich even could be here as long as he can survive the stun, though I do feel like that's a bit less likely, right? So CK ults and rolls in, and then Lich throws the ult at him, and he dies
Yeah.
instantly. Yeah.
Unfortunate, yeah.
As I said, I think this lane degrades with time. Trying to get
Why
a
can't you get the
desperation
Lich
kill
here?
on Molsky, get a second kill. We're having to turn away. As both members of the Radiant offlane are almost dead, actually.
Yeah, the Naga Siren does a deceptive amount of early damage if you let her.
Yep. I can tell you this is an offlaner. One of the... Oh, rip boss's courier. One of the more annoying heroes in this game to actually lane with against as an offlane. Not only does she do a lot of damage, but her abilities are like things that offlanes often... Oh, there's a kill. Or going down.
Okay, you're good.
Uskar
We
got...
get subbed.
Yep. Uskar went down to a King's Ransom of 15 HP there before the sab came out.
It'll be fine.
While
He'll
snipes it
regen.
off, but... CK there tried to man-fight the Naga a little bit and found out exactly that goes for him, even when the illusions aren't up.
Yeah, that armor break is very, very good.
Yep. It's definitely, you can definitely get a kill on Naga. If you can survive the damage, she's a very much a glass cannon in lane. Only one problem, you often are too as 3.
Yeah. Especially
At
after
least in
CK.
the... Yeah, at this portion of the game you're going to be, and you're not usually going to be a glass cannon that's going to win. Now, oftentimes, give it some time and that changes. You know, oftentimes, once he hits like 6, then you can come back in and kill her, except, whoops, he can't do that this lane. Very good time to be alive if you're Naga.
Is under attack.
And she's not even really going to be forced to level W or ult either, so she can just max Q and E.
Texas Ranger is
fine with
looking for a scythe charge.
Yeah, this
Gonna
gets
get one. First scythe charge of the game.
Your own rotting tongue.
Casually TP spot, casually wipes out Omni Knight, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah.
Notably, we haven't really been paying much attention to mid in this so far because, I mean, look at this matchup. What do you think that's going to be, right? But, you know, notably, Necro and Quap pretty much keeping pace with each other here. The Quap is ahead on the Knives by a pretty considerable margin. She is down on a kill, so there is that.
Yeah.
Speaking of last hits, notably, Balance of Power is starting to turn against the Radiant here as Naga Siren has now completely caught up on Huskar, has surpassed him. And like I said, it's going to get worse.
CK's less than his lane well, but he's CK, so.
Right, he's pause 3 CK, that's all the money he's going to get this game. Omni Knight can go so deep against them without really being punished.
Yeah.
It feels
sure.
like. It's one thing they definitely have to their advantage in this Radiant safe lane. Like, Omni Knight can go anywhere he wants and he's okay. Sand King might be dead. Ooh.
No, it's fine.
Yep, just barely got out of that vision range, I think.
No, Chris isn't that interested. More
And
interested in
boss
boss.
is just going to die.
Very unfortunate. very hard to kind of exist in this lane as a support once Huskar hits 6.
Right. Honestly, I don't even know why Sand King's here at this juncture, unless he's like waiting for a Sav to come in on boss or something. Like, I know the last thing you want to do is probably
Oh, he's in vision.
go back home, but
Yeah. Yeah. Just slightly out of range of that sentry there. Very unfortunate.
yep.
Was hunting the jungle.
Yep, just trying to make sure Sand King's not hanging out back there. Sand King only at the very base edge of XP Rangers. Never like the place you want to be. Necro at top.
Goes here.
Second
Scythe.
Reaper. Second Reaper Scythe on a guy you super duper do not want to die as early game.
It's looking very similar to the last game start, except on the opposite team.
Right. One thing about CK is, and one thing about 3 in general, sometimes on 3 you just need to take a mulligan. Sometimes on 3 you're going to spill. That's just inevitable on how the heroes sort of work. Last week we saw a sort of scenario where, you know, you saw what happens in the Epstein and Nerf himself game. What happens when you kind of lose a little too much confidence when that happens, as not a 12-year-old boy just found herself just completely back on the back foot after taking a nasty death early game, right? Can't let that happen to you. That's not good. Sometimes you're just gonna have to take a lump and then come back stronger a different day, right? Like a Saturday morning cartoon villain.
Hey, he
Problem
killed
is
Lich,
CK.
so
CK really does not like to have that happen to him, and like, yeah, he got the Lich. That's great. But what does that matter?
gives him a little extra cash. That's about it.
Him dying to Necro is a much more valuable target. Frankly, he's going to find it very hard to farm up. And by the way, boss is going to get eaten here. Everybody kind of looking at Oscar, but
This lane needs to be seeded, I think, at this point.
Right.
Like, you're just dying to
Dire's top
Huskar
tower is under attack.
constantly.
yeah. Sand King is a great answer to that CK too as well.
Dire's
Like,
middle
I think
tower is under
the
attack.
idea at this point would probably be have Oscar just batter Necro.
He has no
Dire's top tower is under
Okay,
attack.
does have mana.
He had no mana, but he had to want for it.
Yeah.
Okay, Omni Knight definitely went a bridge too far this time.
It happens.
Very, very fortunate that Reaper Scythe was still a couple of seconds away, because if he had been able to get that off, okay.
Or unfortunate, depending on what happens in this upcoming fight.
Dire's structures are fortified.
I don't know if Huskar is a
Dire's
realistic
middle
objective
tower
right now,
is
unless he
under
gets
attack.
really out of place. nehC Assassin silenced. Lich is here, and that looks really scary until you realize Lich is still only level 5.
Stun.
Lich is
Whole
just
village is
instantly
here, as
dead.
Vex would say.
Necro running for his life here. nehC Assassin
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
very low. They just can't kill Necro though. Nobody's really
Yeah,
that
they didn't even, like-
enthusiastic.
They didn't even really make a dent in him.
Sand King just pushing up top of this happened, which is good. Sand King going top to, you know, basically force CK out, because CK can't exist in a lane against that guy, no matter how bad Necro's been doing early. That's that's good.
Radiant's
Texas Ranger
top
being
tower
down here,
is under
pressuring
attack.
Huskar. Huskar is going to have to go somewhere
Dire's
else. He
middle
cannot
tower
stay
is under
here.
attack.
Chooses to go top, not a bad idea. But less likely to... Oh!
Radiant's bottom
Just
tower
barely
is
does
under
not get that
attack.
scythe out.
Dire's
Unfortunate.
middle
Yep.
tower is under
Unfortunate
attack.
for any Necro fans in the audience. Pop got haste.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Definitely could be...
Okay.
Got a leash. But Lich still isn't 6 yet. He does get the double fear out. That's very good. Naga Siren coming in here. What's Naga going to be doing? This is an interesting
Hitting creeps,
little...
I assume.
Nothing to actually do here as Radiant just completely backs off where she can really play any role. Very surprising to see Naga show up to something like that this early.
Under attack.
I think it's almost a matter of disrespect more than anything else. You know, Nagasara just casually crossing this board. Nothing can really stop her right now. I like Neeks walking in the sandstorm with the. He might regret that.
Charging up an epi. Oh my god. Boss got denied, by the way.
Neeks comes in and stuns Sand King, and Sand King responds in the most unkind manner possible. This is a major Lich ult.
Yeah, it is. Ooh, he's
CK
dead.
ults,
Good
but
bounce.
what does that matter?
Very
Necro
fortuitous
looking
bounce
super
for the
dead.
Lich there.
Not Necro, Omni looking
Omni,
super
yeah.
dead. Necro looking super okay. No,
Necro looks fine as he's looked throughout the entirety of this game. I don't think he's been under half HP.
yeah, Necro looking A-okay right now. See this little funny item menu to see a couple of things here, especially on the Radiant. So 2 things that you don't see so far is you don't see a Spirit Vessel, and you don't see a Pipe of Insight. This is not going to be fun. Anyone
It'll
thinking
be
about
fun.
it?
It'll be fun, but fun to
Oh,
watch.
it'll be fun. It'll be fun for this guy. It'll be fun for one particular man. It'll be a lot of fun for
It
him.
is.
Grimstroke really frustrating Radiant's ability to get much done in this epic siege on mid here that's been going on for what feels like an hour and a half.
Yeah, he is. They have very good kind of uphill defense.
Right.
Of course, this isn't uphill like tier 3s or whatever, but
One thing Radiant is missing right now, and probably is never really going to have with this lineup, is any meaningful ability to get rid of the Sand King Blink Dagger.
Yep.
Which is not, it's not like unplayable if you can't stop the Sand King Blink, but you'd rather not have to deal with that if you don't have to.
yeah.
CK going after the Necro here, but man, look what's happening
There it
in
is.
seconds!
Oh, the
Lich
ult!
ult.
Top tower is under attack.
2 big ults coming out!
Next Ranger's full again, though.
Yep.
It may not be for long.
1.
He's likely dead.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, good play by Iceman.
And Sand King just died somewhere else, and Grimstroke
Dead,
arrived
dead.
just a little too late to do anything. Unfortunate. I feel like if Grimstroke TPs this tower here, he might actually be able to bail Necro. Well, these things happen.
Actually, but,
Dire's
yeah.
structures are fortified.
And he did die, but at the very least, he got the Reaper Scythe out, which isn't really
Yes,
a
he did.
worthwhile trade, but it's at least a silver lining.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Ready to see? Okay, yep. Jackie was also ready to see it. I was like, ready to see Jackie get stomped by a centaur. Celly avoided that.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Necro showing up 1 second too late to deny his own tower. Rushing right into a Shiva's guard in this game, that's a very good idea, I think. Like, there's pretty much going to be
Bottom tower is under
one agent in this game after a certain amount of time, and that really gets rid of him, and really just is one more thing that's going to prevent CK from doing anything this game. You can see how he's going. He's just going straight into Aetherlands and Shard.
Aetherlands, Egg Shard, yeah.
And if you want to know, oh,
Radiant's
let's get
Oh
really
dear,
hairy.
Iceman.
Oh, Texas Ranger actually going to go down in seconds. Oscar showing up at the perfect time. Lich showing up at the most imperfect possible time. Boofus going to get annihilated by his own clone. Goodbye.
Dead.
Only a silver lining though, as
Yeah.
otherwise that was definitely a fight in the favor of Lone Sniper Theory. Chris right now, 8-0. You see that bounce?
Man,
What do you
it's-
think is going to happen, bro? What do you mean you see that bounce?
Also,
Like,
the last bounce from the creep camp was very,
Yeah.
very unfortunate.
I guess that's true, but like, come on now. You know what was going to happen in that little encounter. That's another, like, for want of a nail scenario. Maybe it's just the effect we have of the captain being gone on this lineup, but like, if lich was a little closer to that and was able to get the double ult off, that is like mass hysteria. Like, I don't think that's a even kind of winnable fight. Huskar can't even think of showing up there. This is the end of CK's life.
It is.
Ouch! So for those of you who are just kind of listening along, not really watching these, well, I'm sorry, because we don't really do the radio show on this, radio show type play-by-play on this cast very much. Oh, Donnie just randomly died somewhere. And, Qual might
This man's a
randomly die for it, yep. Ouch. Anyway, for those of you who are just listening along rather than watching along, what just happened to CK?
What just got happened there?
What just got happened there to CK is that Chaos Knight, man, he went a little too far up that lane, man, and you know, 3 whole wolves just come down right on top of that man's head. He gets himself a little epicenter, gets himself a little Reaper Scythe. He don't get himself no stronger siren, I guess. It's really only 2 holes, but you know, them sort of things kind of, you know, didn't need that no song siren, you know.
Yeah,
Dang
sure.
old, dang old CK, man. You know, dang old, come on, look at the, our show chaos, man. Look at that thing, you know. Anyway, there goes Nick's assassin.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh,
this
Necro, baby.
is troublesome.
Yep, just goes down in second slot. Oh, baby. Oh, no! Oh, no! The Lich ult came out 1 second before the Grimstroke ult goes down.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, you hate to see it! You hate to see it, fellas. That's commline issues. Sometimes people kind of wonder what I mean when I say commline issues. They think, you know, how do you know there's some commline issues going on? You don't listen to the calls. You're not there, but man, that's visible commline issues. Like, you could see the sort of miscue there. That's first Roche at 20 minutes. 20 minutes, not a great first Roche for Huskar, especially when you have a CK in the lineup.
Yeah.
CK incidentally has finished up his shard. Looks like he's not going for that Aether Lens after all. He's going to try and get a Heart of Tarask, to which I say, good luck, buddy. Good luck. Got a Pipe of Insight on your lineup. Kind of hard to see you surviving another few minutes. Oh. Really well timed last second Reaper Scythe. 21 HP regen per second now on Necro.
Yep. I remember the days when using Scythe like that was frowned upon.
Yep. Now it's what you do.
Yeah. Now it's a officially sanctioned chaos ability.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Sand King just got eliminated from play there. That's just kind of popped off in the back line. Grimstroke just goes a little too far forward and does not end well for him.
Yeah. I think they just stop the bleeding until Naga comes online.
Right. Not that far from it at this point. Third of a way to her Scotty. That's good.
Yep.
I will say this, this is some tragic bleeding. I do not know if this game goes badly if the commline issues. At least this part of the game goes badly if the commline issues aren't there. We kind of saw this from the Wheel Snipe Celly in the last game as well. These sort of like, these little things, the execution factor.
Yeah, all the
Falling
small
apart for 'em.
things.
Hey Randy, you're a music guy, right?
Yeah.
As the doctor of music, what's your favorite Blink-182 song?
Oh, what's my age again?
Can you give us a sample of that?
No, sorry. Busy. Busy watching this uphill push.
Looking like currently, gonna make a serious effort here.
Oh,
this
Club
is a
Sphered.
this is a big get. Big
That
get.
is
Oh
super
no!
big.
Oh no!
Double Lich ult.
Double Lich ult to He's not gonna need all. He can keep Reavers. He can keep Reapers for the
Yeah.
Necro revival, or the Huskar revival rather.
BKB'd. But
He's being beat in TPs.
yeah, unfortunate, but I think that was enough of a disaster for Iceman's team that it was worth it.
Yeah, it's amazing how quickly things change. You know, you
Not even
finally have
necessarily that it was a disaster for Iceman and that it was a really good go on him.
right. How much things change when the pieces of the puzzle all come together. You know, you finally had the double Lich Hold in one fight. Man, just a little longer, or just a slightly shorter cooldown on that Necro, and there would have been 2 Reaper size in that fight, and man, that would have been
Yeah.
ghastly.
Literally, yeah.
The first fight where we have 2 Reaper size come out as once is like the last fight where
Okay,
the Iceman
Son
team
of
has
Siren.
kind of a hope to win.
Everybody get out.
Yep. Well played.
It was a very good defensive song.
Makes just charging up the mid lane to try and catch her, does not find anything. Necro's finished SNK here.
Definitely what you want to see out of your Naga, you know, that kind of looked like a frenetic little situation there. Everyone's kind of panicking, supports are almost dying, and then
Right.
slow it down. Nobody does.
Don't you think this, the Grimult here just looks kind of like almost to the Dota logo?
Yeah.
Like alternate universe Dota logo drawn from memory or something?
Well, that is what
Radiant's
Grimstroke
bottom
does. He's
tower
an
is
artist.
under attack.
Yeah, he's
Maybe he
drawing
drew
from
that.
memory.
Yeah.
CK is not going to win this fight. He's not even going to participate in this fight. Oh, he
Exactly.
actually realized,
Oh.
I think, last second that he was in that Necro. Radius.
Yeah. The Heartstopper.
CK is certainly going to win this fight if a million people show up for him, though.
The whole village shows up. There you go.
So the good news is that you've killed Necro here. Bad news is just took everybody's time,
Radiant's middle tower
took
is
everybody's
enoL.
space. And indeed, yeah, Quapult.
are scattered.
And Jackie Chin is swiftly approaching that ylleC here.
We'll have it by next fight, likely.
Yeah, well, almost certainly. Look at that. He's what, 200 gold down, and he's got illusions farming for him a couple of places. Like, he's probably got Scotty like next minute.
Yeah.
He's got his courier circuit chopped. If you're an investor in Lich, might want to pull out now. Stock. Oh no, actually, his stock is still going. Never mind. Still a
Lich
little
Bear,
too
have my money.
fast. That's the magic of Tranks.
And there you go.
Magic of Tranks and having good battle sense. Molfki, get the spider senses kind of came up there. I think somebody might have passed a ward on the way there and just got the hell out a little earlier. It's all the difference. Believe that, Scotty? Yep, Scotty finished on Naga Siren.
Rags. Okay, interesting.
Yep.
Assume.
Wants to make sure Huskar
Yeah.
can't beat ABTP ever again.
Yep.
Huskar, for the record, is looking to buy his shard rather than get it from the next Roche. In fact, has got it now. To be honest with
boy.
you, I don't know if he really... I mean, it's a minute till Roche comes up, right? Like, I don't know if he really needed to do that.
I think if they get a shard, they give it to Queen of Pin.
That's true, that does... Well,
Okay, already has it. Never mind.
and CK has it. So it's a... Now it's
I
a
don't know what
choice
Omni's
between
mixes do.
the cooler Vendetta or
That's
getting
cool.
back Dejanora. Fireman Smoke coming out
Okay.
here. Finding absolutely nobody in the triangle.
Yeah. Radiant is making a move towards bot lane instead.
there is anything nice coming out of it. They did get some good vision up of the Roche pit, and right before it comes up.
Yep.
The fact that they're a little patient, they stick around here. If Roche comes up relatively soon, anyway, I might just take it for themselves. They're in a pretty good position to do it. Chris is saying pressure the T3, but then he goes for the T2. Do what I say, not what I do. That's Chris's motto.
No, his motto is I love Peru.
Yeah, I heckin' love Peru. Grimstroke and a little caught here.
Essence ring, pretty good.
But the Essence ring plus the sheer presence of Necro means really nothing's coming out of that.
Dire's bottom tower.
Chris does just solo the bot tower there. Huskar just walking away from bot T2.
Yep.
Completely solo. He's got Satanic at this point. It's going to make him a pretty tough customer to deal with.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure he's killable, but it's very difficult. Double damage Roshan. It's not up.
Wow, CK actually finished his art. Genuinely kind of did not expect him to have the kind of money to finish that by the end of this game.
Yeah, I've got a
Huskar's
couple kills since then, I suppose.
Yep. Huskar's been very generous with how the farm share has gone.
They're gonna song, maybe? No, they don't even need a song. Oof.
Texas Ranger is going to die almost instantly. Shanking getting picked off the back of the fight, but it's a pretty big kill. Okay.
Oh, Naga's just melting people.
Yep. Chris Reckon loves of Brew is here.
He can sing.
Radiant's top
Yep,
does sing.
Manta off and sing. There you go.
You can sing. You should sing.
Thanks for the advice, Coach. Coach Razor.
Dire's
Yep.
middle tower.
Huskar now going to try and beat a tower through backdoor protection. So far, it's not really working.
Weird
I like-
Satanic.
I like Huskar ulting the
Dire's
ulting the Naga illusion.
Dire's
This
middle
is
tower
starting to turn into a worse and worse looking uphill here. Like they're definitely gonna get the T3. They have to back off like right now.
Yeah.
Things are about to get very, very bad for them in very short time.
Okay. Tanking. They're committing.
Ooh. Up. Reaper Scythe out on CK.
Oh yeah, and Huskar.
Yep. Ooh.
He's dead.
Good play on Necro and Sanking's part.
They get repelled from the base.
Yep. That was one of those moments where you get the T3 tower, then get the hell out of town. But they kind of stuck around and found out. And what they found out is that even though we were up like 10k before that fight started, Huskar is still very mortal. In fact, everyone kind of is with that Necro shard coming out. The Necro shard plus the Grimstroke, really nasty stuff. And
Yeah, for sure.
while it's not happening quite as fast as predicted, nehC is just going to casually walk into this pit and find out. Well, you get rid of the vision first. Goodbye, nehC. So add one more to that fight.
Yeah.
Necro gonna look for the Quap here. Quap having to completely pull out of the area, just going all the way to the lane.
Yeah, I assume that was the intent.
Yep.
Yeah,
if Quap took the fight.
Go for anything. Yeah, if Quap takes the fight, she dies. But
Right. Motion number 2 going out for the rating here. You can get that really nasty Song of the Siren chart if they want it. Jackie's gonna keep it in his backpack for now.
yep.
See who else needs chart. We need the Grimstroke shard. That's all right.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Blitz shard is pretty good, but he's a little dead to be taking that right now. Necro has his shard. Sand King shard is the
Happy. I don't like Sanking Jordan, but I'm
Sand
sure
King
other
shard,
people do.
the loose bells upgrade.
Damage.
The IBS shard, that's what I traditionally call it. Naga Siren, looking for a heart
There
now.
you go.
Never the most ideal thing to build on Naga Siren, I feel like, you know.
I like it on Naga. I think I get it after Scotty in most games.
Radiant's
It's
bottom tower is
something
under
that
attack.
I feel like
Radiant's
Makes their
structures
illusions
are
really
fortified.
beefy. Like,
it's true.
can barely even kill like an illusion in a 1v4 against illusions. Most of these guys.
The downside is I feel like
Radiant's bottom
you always
tower
want to get
has
tank
fallen.
and as a one. But you know, some situations gonna be building that hard up anyway. It's a want versus need
Dire's
scenario.
top tower is under
Yep.
attack.
Like the one catapult at the T3 up here, goodbye.
Then it gets blown up.
The time.
Prop getting fairly close to a Shiva's guard. It's definitely good. Definitely one of those victory condition type items.
Yep.
I'm gonna tell you this, if CK is not gonna get a pipe, even at this point, I think it'd be great on Omni or nehC at least. nehC's getting himself a Wind Waker. For some
Okay,
reason.
interesting.
I don't know if I agree with that item choice necessarily, to be honest with you, but that's fine.
You don't like Wind Waker?
I don't like it here. I feel like that's pretty much what, just to get rid of the Reaper Scythe? Hey, that's great, but feel
Yeah,
like
it's
it's a
for
little
Scythe.
unreliable.
For sure. It's for Scythe.
Feel like it's a little bit of an unreliable method of dealing with that, compared to either shutting the Necro up or just not letting yourself get so low you're worried about it anyway. Naga Heart is out already. For any Naga Heart fans out there.
Better than Lotta Heart.
Who?
No, that's a player in this league.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about.
Damn, you're flaming a lot of heart. Poor whoever that is.
Yeah.
If I was a lot of heart, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, me too.
I'd also be treated like I'm this like super major recurring character, like main cast here, even though I only show up like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. And once in the fan game we played.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. Uh-oh. Got a Grimstroke ult, but it gets nothing. Nothing at all.
Okay.
Wobble just comes out and gets everybody, but it doesn't do anything! Did Necro mean to do that? I don't think Necro meant to do that.
I just wanted to disable him. Guessing.
Maybe.
They have a song to play with, but Jackie's manning up.
Yeah, they are really finding it hard to get anything done to Naga here. Huskar's gonna die! Even without the Necro ult, Huskar still ended up dead.
Texas Ranger's just gonna kill everybody.
And yep, that is a 5 for Aegis trade, I believe.
Yeah, that's not too good. I wouldn't be too happy with
Did
that
we get
trade.
any? I think we did actually get buys there. Let's see. Yeah, we did get buys on Grimstroke and Sand
Grim?
King.
Yeah, Grim and sinking.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I
Now they
don't
can
know.
pull.
I feel like Sand King is definitely one of the better offensive buyback type heroes, because it's like, if you die during an uphill as Sand King and you weren't able to ult before, I don't know if you have a future. I don't know if you're able to do it in round 2, to be frank. It's probably too late. Jackie Jin is gonna,
Middle tower
yep, just gonna wall up the tower here. Just
Radiant's
gonna wall up the
middle tower
Rex.
has fallen. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Actually, Necro just took the top T2. They're out of outside towers, which means they could
Radiant's middle barracks
kind of
has
just
fallen.
go for whatever they want out here.
Yeah, for
Not
sure.
very nice, Bliss. Come on now. What the hell even is that? Looks like a sarcophagus or something. Like a
Like a
undying
lich
tomb.
totem, I guess. I don't know.
Well, Nick's
That
get a
could be
little
an
close to
undying
that.
tombstone.
Radiant's top tower has
Some
fallen.
catapult.
Bro, we're never gonna see. Go back to the fight.
Oh, God. It's so hard to figure it out. There's no
There's no
fight
fight.
happening. It just kind of looks like a fight. Wait, I think I can see it off of this thing. What the hell is that? Oh, it's Sniper.
Earthspirit. No, it's Sniper.
It's not Earth Spirit, bro.
Dude,
The
it looked like
Sniper's-
Earthspirit's stupid pole pose or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Sniper TPing animation. And this is in Russian. And we got the funny combat music.
Yeah, we
Molsky going down. Was not able to ult before he died. And
Well,
sing and TP.
goodbye.
Everybody's TPing out.
Everybody get out. There you go.
That is a absolutely tragic withdrawal, dude. Like if I'm Radiant, I'm just sitting there like,
That's Naga Siren for you.
yeah. It's a classic Naga scenario, but that makes it no more fun to play against. Getting really close to Ags. Has it up very soon. It's going to be very good against the seemingly endlessly magic of me and Huskar.
Can get it right now if he wants.
Dire's courier has been
Oh, I
Never
got
mind.
killed. Alright, that's really sad.
This is such
The
a
high
hard
value
team.
career kill if I've ever seen it.
Such a hard team to push into, dude. Lich,
Yeah.
Sand King, Necro, and the Grimstroke. And then you have Naga Siren just sitting on top of it just to make it a little worse. Like, ouch. Huskar has his own heart now. Again, speaking of, you don't necessarily want to have to build the heart. But here we are. You have Necro there. Not Necro, Huskar there. Of course, what that means is that if this game goes long enough, then we are going to be seeing some really fantastic damage on that Reaper's side. That's going to be doing like 1,000,000 damage a shot, and Necro's in-game damage stat is going to be massively inflated as a result.
Oh, that's true.
That's man going to be
You're
walking
looking nice,
right
man.
into Sand King here.
Fucking right into everyone.
She's kind
Oh,
of...
Naga caught her.
Yep.
BKB though. The CK courier kill coming in big.
Yeah. If that courier kill didn't happen, Quap is dead there for sure. Pulling
Good
in
hero.
everybody on Radiant to deal with this except Neeks. Neeks Assassin going to take a powder from this particular fight, but everybody else is around here. They're going to smoke
Oh,
up.
smoke.
And it gets broken immediately by Necro.
Oh, okay.
Necro comes out.
So, Siren.
Yeah,
Stop.
swing of the
Good,
siren.
Good.
Double
Well
double
done.
scythe. Omni goes down for it. Uskar's about half health. Lich ult coming in. I think it's just one Lich ult, but CK and
Oh,
Quap
man.
still going down, and goodbye Huskar.
Alright. Naga's officially online.
You know, I gotta say, I feel like speaking of things Lich does, I think Lich and Huskar is also a pretty nasty setup. You know, Huskar almost is fodder for his team with the Lich ult. He just kind of stands in the
Yeah.
middle of everybody and just lets it bounce a million times. And you know, when his BKB is not up, if he's feared, he's dead.
Or Shockwave here, gonna try as best he can to defend.
Yep.
And the buybacks come out.
If they start rolling out en masse, they're not
They're
gonna
trying
lose.
to save their
Ah.
Chris buyback.
I like that. They kind of thought that might be the real Naga for a second.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
They
Aw,
they might need
poor
to bust that
Blackkicker.
one out pretty soon.
He doesn't have it. Doesn't have the money.
Crap, did he buy out?
Top tower is under attack.
He didn't. No, he just doesn't have that money. Okay. What did Lich just ult?
Are under attack.
Lich just ult like a CK illusion. Not like it matters, but ouch.
Yeah.
Like the illusion slap fights. Nick's doing some recon here. Just pouring through the jungle.
And
Running
Naga looks a
into,
little out of control
Naga.
now.
Naga, Nadu, you want to be running into. Sand King just picked up Jim, if he had had that just a couple of seconds before, poor Nick's
Yeah,
assassin.
sure.
He's gonna run into the lich here, but
Still
ultimately
mulling
pulls
about
out.
this area. Yeah.
Naga Ags has finally arrived. Ninja, you're going to replace the local flames there.
That
Okay.
wasn't epi. It's just
Yeah, I know.
shard.
No, he didn't. He didn't epi there. He like
Oh, okay.
he blinked and then he like bro striked down for some reason.
Why not?
What is happening up here? Oh, Necro's TPing out. Okay.
They have a response to this if they want it.
Is that a Seer Stone? Seer Stone coming out here. Who
That's
has
like
a
a
Seer
reg-
Stone?
That's a regular item now? What?
No. I don't think so. That wasn't a Seer Stone. What the hell was that?
Rapier alert.
Oh yeah, we do have Huskar looking at Divine Rapier. I gotta say, it's a little foolhardy. I feel like he... The thing I'm doing after I just kind of die without being able to do any damage in two team fights is probably not by the Rapier.
Oh, they're gonna fight
Oh
this
no,
Roche.
double Literal coming out, hitting everything there is!
All dead. Oh,
Great
okay.
Quapple, but
It's not
again,
great.
what does that mean? What? It doesn't do anything.
Oh, everyone's
Necro
dead.
just in the middle of this fight. Necro does not even have to scythe. He does not even have to scythe that.
Yeah, I might rethink that Rapier after that.
He still got it. If they can catch Iceman here.
Whoop. Got him.
Just barely makes it out.
Yeah. And the mid T4 is the being pushed in. It's a little troublesome.
Oh, Necro did scythe in that last fight, I think. That or he scythed in that encounter at top. Looks more like the latter, actually.
Naga picks up all the nice Roche goodies.
Yep. Can do a lot of funny things with the refresher here. Mega Creep's about to come out.
Yeah, for sure. There's no way they can test this.
Yep, that's Megas.
Radiant's top barracks has fallen.
And now they're not even gonna
Jack
bother with
Jones.
they're not even gonna bother with the statue of Earth Spirit. They're going right for those towers.
Radiant's middle tower has
Jackie
fallen.
Chan just wants the game.
I don't blame him. I would too.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
I'm sure he'll sing 1 second before the ancient dies.
Yeah.
Radiant's ancient
That's what I would do.
Nyx. Feared off screen. Huskar just jumped right into a pile of Naga illusions.
Yeah.
And not the real Naga.
Radiant's ancient is under attack.
That had to
Oh
be
my-
like 2,000 damage, right? Like, look at his nearly 6k health bar. Huskar
All the
going down one more
basins of
time. Quap dieback.
Unanimous defeat.
Everybody's buying back.
Even though he
Doesn't
already
matter.
called GG. Chris with the
What a
early
game.
DC? Wow.
Ooh. Right. Well, it happened again, ladies and gentlemen. If you want the analysis, the post-game analysis of this game, just go back to game 1 and pretend everything I said about Wheel Snipe Celly I said about Lone Sniper Theory. It is once again just a straight-up mirror match. There is a difference here though. Unlike in the first game where it's like Pipe is like a super win condition, I feel like Pipe here like
Just like a don't lose condition.
I don't lose. Yeah, that's a better way to put it. Texas Ranger, of course, he did not get quite as out of control as the Iceman did. He died a few more times, and less of his kills were Reaper scythes. So there is that. There is that one small benefit, but yeah, I feel like Pipe of Insight was a don't lose here, and I think it would have been, again, a very significant thing. I mean,
Yep.
Huskar already has like a lot of magic resist, I know. And more magic resist on top of that is technically not the most efficient thing in the world, I know. But there were just so many fights where it's like if Huskar, if Quap, even CK are able to survive just like 3 more seconds, and Pipe, it always gives you that. They're able to survive like 3 more seconds, then, they're able to survive and potentially change out the fight. And, this is it's kind of hard to see it now, but this is definitely a game where this ylleSnipe Celly lineup was at one point in morbid danger, right? They were in pretty bad danger of actually just losing out this game until they kind of overstayed on one of their uphill pushes. Till Lone Sniper Theory overstayed on one of their uphill pushes, I should say. The lack both of the pipe and of the spirit vessel. Like, I can see why you wouldn't want to build pipe this game because, I mean, look at this lineup. Who builds it? Omni, he's FOS 5. Where is he ever going to get that kind of money, right? nehC's Assassin is the best carrier, potentially, and, like, he got a Wind Waker, ultimately, instead. Which, like I said, I don't know. Like, he got that for the Reaper size. How many Reaper sides did it actually save? It felt like every time I saw the Wind Waker actually come out in those fights, it's just nehC's Wind Wakers himself and just leaves, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah, who carries the pipe? It's hard to say. It's hard to fit it into this lineup, and, I hate to say it, but a big part of that is because of the CK3 here, who stood out like a sore thumb. There wasn't enough money on the map for him to really make a difference. He has a good KDA here, but, like, 10 of those kills. Good Money says if I scroll over to the right, pretty much all of those are going to be supports. Yep, 2 and 5 kills on the Grim and Lich, respectively. 2 kills on the Necro, or 2 kills on the Sand King, 1 on the Necro, so those 2 are pretty good. And one of the Sand King kills did pretty much change the fight, but, like, of those 10 kills, pretty much all of them are just bullying supports. And if you're bullying supports, there's a lot better pause 3s to do that for a lot less money. As far as damage he actually did to the cores, it was pretty much none. By the time Naga Siren comes online, she has literally nothing to fear from him, and every encounter they had, he just got completely thrown to the wayside. And even if it hadn't been Naga, even if it had been a different pick, let's say it was the Juggernaut pick, right? Which is really no better for CK, frankly, outside of being able to theoretically smoke up some Omni Slash.
Yep.
Let's say it's the Jug pick that I was talking about during pick phase. I mean, I was talking about that for his team, but, you still have the Necro to deal with, who's going to be such a problem to you. You're going to need to be born with a BKB to have a hope in hell of surviving fights, and he didn't, so when fights actually started happening, he started dying. Another thing I would bet about that 10, 8, and 6 is that probably more of that 10 came from, like, the first 15, 20 of the game than any other time. I mean, to say the least, just did not feel like the impact was there. And notably, 22k damage would put him as the second only to Grimstroke on this ylleSnipe Celly lineup as far as, like, least damage goes. And
Grimstroke doesn't exist to do damage, so.
Right. He's sitting at half of Quap's damage rating. He's sitting at half of Huskar's damage rating. He's sitting... And this is a guy who, like, does exist to do damage, right? Like, all he does is beat people up. So seeing that number, no, that's not good. The CK3 here really screwed him over. And I think, I always say it, but here more than ever, right? If you had a more traditional pause 3 who was able to pick up some more teamfight support-based items, and certainly if you had somebody who was able to put a hurting on Necro. I always say Pit Lord in this situation, because I feel like for some reason people pick CK3 whenever they really mean to pick Pit Lord. Imagine what Pit Lord does here, right? He's able to completely inert the Naga Siren damage for a very long time. He's able to build up pipe, is tanking us through fights through this sort of thing. He's able to, especially with nehC's help, he's able to keep the Necro locked up and keep a firm supply of magic damage falling on his head rate. And most notably, he's able to keep Huskar alive. In fact, he's able to get Huskar to a battle really, really, really quickly, which is something that, if you notice, kind of early game, they had a few problems with. There sometimes Chris would come in, like, super late. Not because he was, like, not watching or something. That's going to sound like he wasn't paying attention. The real deal was, of course, Chris is playing a very slow-moving hero who has mobility trouble. So, having a nice little portal he can open up for old Huskar there in the early game. Definitely a good thing. Definitely a good thing. You know, Pit Lord, very oppressive here. If you don't want to pick him for some reason, hey, this is also a really good Viper game. I mean, really screws with the Naga, if she's standing in the break juice anyway, or if, at least her illusions are. Really screws with the Naga, really screws with the Necro. Sand King does not like sitting in a sandstorm where there is a pit of Viper goo sitting in the bottom of it. You know, all that sort of thing, right? I guess what I'm getting at is more of a pause 3 than CK. And I think this game is quite different. I don't know. As well, you know, you're losing the Omni in lane, but maybe bump Omni to 4 here rather than having him 5. Felt like he was so far behind this game, like, you know, sitting on 7k, which makes him worth half of a Sand King. You know, one of these situations, he's very much a Stepford support. To a very good degree, that's fine, but I feel like if Omni Knight gets some more levels early and is able to get more items than, you know, this. Like, let's say if he's able to get, like, a Vlad's or something. Or, God forbid, if he's able to pick up a pipe. I think things change to a pretty decent degree. I don't know. Anyway. Anything else to say about this one?
Not particularly. I mean, supports played well in both games.
Yeah, I thought it was a good standout. Especially notable that 2 of those supports were Magician and Boss, who are not regular members of either of these teams. In fact, they are casters this season. So, you know, you had 2 casters showing good things for the casting desk in both games. I thought Boss had another very good disruptor performance in that first game. With his Grimstroke in the second game, there were a few comm line issues with Molsky, especially early on, but once those were kind of sorted out, like the first time they dropped the double Lich Ult in a fight, it's like every fight from then on out, I feel like it happens, and every fight from then on out, they win.
Yeah.
That was a really big thing. I guess if there is one thing to say, it's like the Wheel Snipe Celly team, and maybe it's because A, they had a stand, and B, they had no captain. Feels like they had some comm line issues. And even if your captain's not there, if you're having comm line issues of that degree, it means you're probably not talking and calling things enough. I know Jackie Chen's microphone sounds like a tin can on a string, and sometimes you're going to have to talk over the, you know, the motorcade happening outside. But I assure you, you can do that. So, yeah, that's it. That's the long and short of it, and that's the little bow on this series. So, 1-1, Iceman and Rada. So, with that all being said, if you or somebody... Oh, Buttrug did a much better job this game than last game. If you or somebody you know wants to learn Dota 2 at a casual or more competitive level, go to ld2l.gg to sign up today. It's too late to get into Season 13, obviously, because we're 2 weeks into it, and Week 3 is not that far from now. But, you can always be a stand-in. If the fact that 2 of the casters were standing in this game did not indicate it, we are very desperate for stand-ins right about now. So, you know, a lot of people busy around this time of year, and it's only going to get worse as the season goes on. So if you want to get some time on the ground, if you want to get some fun done, then sign up as a stand-in, see if you get picked, see if you get run. And, yeah. But before we go, we, you know, had a little bit of a sponsorship debacle, actually. Because Ocelot was actually going to sponsor this game. It's going to be sponsored by Ocelot Industries, but he actually pulled out his sponsorship when you were flaming him in the middle of Game 1 and saying all those nasty things about his family. So we have no sponsor today, sorry to say. I'm sure we're probably going to have a sponsor in the next set that we're probably also recording tonight, but so that's a distinct lie, but for now we have no sponsor. Sorry about that, everybody. So, until then, we'll see you next time.